Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Scrap Zone. I'm Julie, and today I'd like to share with you my reimagined doily layout using the Everyday Moments Cricut collection from Close to My Heart. All of the cuts were done on my Explorer Era machine. This is the original layout, and I'm going to show you how we can change it up to make it look completely different. These beautiful doilies were resized, and I've even cut this on foil paper. It is absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to start with the Mixin paper collection. This is the same collection that I've used for the original layout, and I wanted to use here the zip strip in my layout. So instead of cutting it off, I'm actually going to keep it with this base page. I think that looks really pretty, and it just lends itself to this layout. I'm also going to use my ink here, and I'm just going to distress all of the edges of this base page to complete the look. So the next step here, I'm going to start putting my 5x7 photo on the kind of center of the page, and I've got a few pieces of pattern paper that I've cut here. I did use the same collection as the previous layout, so this is still using the Mixin, and I want to make sure I have enough room for my foil doily. And this little guy here, I'm not sure if you remember him from the original layout, he's a little bit smaller, but when you size him up, he is perfect as another doily and looks really good on this layout. So let's start having fun with colors. So the idea for this layout was to create a rainbow effect. And because these little doilies are very intricate to cut, now I'm not going to lie, they did take a few minutes, like an hour or so to cut. So I decided to ink them using different colors so that I can cut them in half and make them go a longer way. So here I'm starting with the lighter shade, and I'm just using a regular sponge, and I find that when you run the sponge against the ink pad, it just goes on really nicely. And then I'm going to follow through here with the sapphire ink, and this one's a little bit darker, so less is more. Once you get familiar with this application, you can go back and add a little bit more ink. But you've got this one doily that's going to be cut in half, and then it just is going to be spread out over this beautiful layout. So I wanted to kind of marry those two colors. So the reason why I used the sapphire and the glacier color is because it's part of the paper collection. And then I brought in this beautiful peacock color, and I really like this combination on this smaller doily. So you're just going really randomly and just adding colors, and as you can see, they look really great. So I thought, okay, I'm going to need a little bit of yellow to kind of match up with the foil, the gold foil doily. And in hindsight, I probably could have used one of our orange color like tangerine or something, but I just stuck with the peach color. But I did apply it a little bit more evenly, and I went a little bit heavier on that particular color. So you can see that it still is a peach color, but it's a little bit darker than the previous ones above. I'm going to follow up here with this really bright yellow. So this yellow is just going to kind of match up with this gold foil doily. Now, speaking of this gold foil doily, I wanted to add some gold accents to the colored ones, and I thought I was going to use my embossing powder, the gold embossing powder, and then I pulled out my gold shimmer pen, and here you see me trying it out, and I'm really liking the look of it. So I'm adding just a little bit of gold on all of the doilies, and it just kind of marries all of them together. I just really liked this look. So I've pulled out here my little block. Previously I was using just a post-note pad, and I was actually kind of wasting some of the shimmer pen because it was kind of absorbing into the paper. So when you do this, you can use your block and it sits right on it, and you're not going to waste any of that beautiful shimmer. So I've gone ahead here and I'm going to add a few splatters. And I'm going to follow through with this little gold thread. Now it's a little bit tricky to get in there because it's small, but so as you can see, all of the accents for this layout are all in the gold tones to go pick up on that beautiful gold doily that was cut. I really, really like the way that this turned out. So here I'm going to place all of my pieces on this layout. So I just want to make sure that I have enough room for my pennants at the top, and I have enough room for my doily. This little die cut is from the Seize the Day collection, and I absolutely wanted to use it for my title. So don't be afraid to mix up some of your collection and come up with something completely different. So we're going to start adding those doilies to this layout, and I'm going to create this beautiful rainbow effect going from the bottom, and it's going to go all the way up onto the right side. So as I mentioned before, I did cut them in half because they do take a while to cut on the Cricut, and I thought that I could just spread them out and not have to cut so many of them. So I'm really liking how this is playing up. I did add just a little bit of glue on that gold foil doily in the center, and as you can see, I'm kind of lifting the layers, and I'm really fussing with it here at this point, but I still think it was a lot of fun to play with all of those different elements. Now, if you like this Reimagine project, I invite you to go check out another of my creative design team members who has used this same doily and created a beautiful stencil to make awesome cards. So I will link Andrea's project in my description box below, and you can see that this beautiful doily is really versatile, and you can do so many other projects with it. So here I'm going to add just a tiny little bit of glue on my all-purpose mat. I found that it was the easiest way to add those doilies because they are very small and intricate, and when you use the glue directly with a sponge dauber, it doesn't seep over and it doesn't create a mess. So that's just a little tip for you guys on how to apply them. And you can see here that they're very random. They're kind of falling off the page, and that's fine. I'm going to go ahead once I've positioned them all, and I'm going to trim them off. So it's just a little bit of placing and playing, and I really like the way that that gold shimmer pen is playing on against that beautiful foil doily. So we're almost done here, and as I was saying to you, I will cut those off once they're dried because they're still like a little bit, wet, and I want to make sure that they're nice and tacked down. And the last element are those two beautiful pennants right at the top, and I did decide to add a little bit more splatters with my gold pen, and we're going to add these really nice little pennants. So that was one of the pennants that was kind of hiding underneath the cluster of the original layout, and I've just sized them up a little bit, and I'm going to add two of them as opposed to just the single one. This Cricut collection is absolutely beautiful, and as of now, the only way you can get your hands on it is to talk to one of your Close to My Heart consultants. You can get this beautiful collection through our affiliate links. I will leave mine below, but you can also contact your favorite consultant and get the collection from her. So here I'm going to follow through with a little bit of bling. I felt that the little splatters from the shimmer pen did not show up as much as I would have hoped. So I thought, okay, I'll just keep on going with the gold accent and add a few of those gold glitter gems all over on the opposite side. So we're almost done here. I did reach out into those die cuts from the Seize the Day, and I added all of those beautiful little hearts, and I did end up using that little sentiment or that little together. I used the Magnolia Sky font to write the word better, so better together, and that was cut out of the darkest color of this rainbow, which is the sapphire cardstock. So I really like the way that that turned out. If you like this layout, I'll be sure to add the Cricut Design Space file below so you can create your very own. I really enjoy working with these types of collection because, as you can see, you can create them originally or do something completely different. I will leave you with a couple of still shots here at the end, and I want to thank you for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that little gray bell to receive notification on other crafty projects. Thank you so much for watching and have yourself an awesome day. I will also link the previous process video for you to see how the original layout came together, and you can tell me which one do you like better, the original layout or this one. Thanks!